What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I am bringing you guys a drift build that I have been wanting to do for a while, and one that you guys have suggested quite a few times in the comment section. I've been, over the last, pretty much all of my drift builds, I've seen comments in there saying, do a McLaren P1 drift car, do a McLaren P1 drift car, and I tried it out in stock form just to see if it could actually do it, like see if it would actually be a good idea, and it's actually really good in stock form, so I'm really excited to see what we could turn this thing into. So I'm going to go ahead and customize it. Now, the customization options are probably not going to be as robust as you're going to get with, say, an S13 Sylvia or something like that, but there's definitely going to be some things we can do to it. So, weight reduction, we might as well. And I'm not going to bother with the chassis reinforcement or roll cage because we don't really need to, at least in my opinion. Now, we do want to be able to customize the gearbox, so we're going to go ahead and put a race transmission in there, or at least the gear ratios. And for the tires, let's just make sure, okay, so it's not running on race tires, which is a good thing. I was a little worried it was going to be running on race tires. Now, I'm not going to actually mess with the tire width. I'm going to leave them. For the rims, I feel like I should just leave the McLaren rims, because they fit this thing perfectly, and they just look right. They just look right, and they look like they were meant to be there. Now, for the aero, absolutely not. And for the front, yeah, no as well. There's not much customization here. I feel like, I guess you could say, like, the meat of this build is going to be in the tuning, not the customizing. And definitely not putting an all-wheel drive drivetrain in there. Absolutely not. So, and we can't do anything to the power. We can't do anything to the power. It is the way it is. Now, so we're going to go ahead and tune it. Now, I'm thinking that I'm going to go with a baseline setup like I usually do, but I'm thinking I'll probably have to do some live tuning along the way when we're test driving the car, because I'm not sure if my usual baseline tune is going to work for this car the same way it works for everything else, because, I mean, we're not tuning, you know, your normal front-engine rear-drive car. We're tuning something that's a lot trickier. And if we slam this all the way down, I mean, that's so low, but I don't know. It might end up working. It might end up working. And hopefully I'm not screwing this thing up. I really hope I'm not screwing this thing up. I'd be kind of mad if I did, to be honest. Bring that down just a little bit. That should be good. No, yeah, that should be good. And for the diff, bring it both up to 100%. And so that's the baseline tune, and I'm going to go ahead and test drive it and just, let's do, yes, I would like to save. We're going to do our testing on Bernese Alps because I like Bernese Alps a lot. I mean, I do a lot of drift testing here, but I feel like it's a really nice, well-rounded circuit, especially for high horsepower cars, because if you've got a really high horsepower drift car and you've got a, you know, super tight little track, it's not that fun, because you can't really, I mean, you're just going to use a burst of power here and a burst of power there, and boom, you're sideways everywhere. So it's not really that fun on a super tight track. So, real quick, I'm gonna let you guys hear what this sounds like. I mean, you've probably all heard it before, but you need to. You need to. And yeah, it does brake stands pretty well, too. So let's go ahead and see if my tune was good or completely screwed it up. Well, oh god. I think we may have actually screwed it up. Let me reset the tune. Let me reset the tune because, and then do a couple of things just straight from there. And then let me just do the tire pressure first. And then just use that as a baseline and go from there. Because when it was stock, it worked really well. So, let's leave it just with the changed tire pressure. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bad entry. There we go. Now it's more balanced, though. Yeah, with the tune I had on it, it just wouldn't kick the tail out. But now it does. I'm thinking that almost, like, the best setup for this car might be the stock setup. Even when you do a couple other things to it, it might just be the stock setup with maybe a tire pressure change, but that's about it. I mean, that might be all that we need here. Feeding in the power. Trying to keep it nice and stable. Since it's mid-engine, you've really got to be conscious of that, because if you take it a little bit too far, then it will give you snap oversteer and spin around. And the thing is, you can't really... It's weird, because as you can see, I'm having a difficult time keeping it sideways sometimes, and that's just because I'm not used to drifting mid-engine. Mid-engine drifting is difficult. It really is difficult, just because of the sheer fact that you're always, like, with a rear-wheel drive, not rear-wheel drive, they're all rear-wheel drive cars. I mean, with a front-engine car versus a mid-engine car, a front-engine car, you could always really catch the back end just depending on exactly where it is. Even if you're going 90 degrees, you could still catch it most of the time. With a mid-engine car, there's a line. There's a line right between straight and completely spun out. And if you could stay on that line, which is basically controlled oversteer, if you stay on that controlled oversteer line, you're fine. But if you go past it, you're going to instantly spin around. And if you don't push enough, you're going to straighten out again. So it's a lot more difficult to drift a mid-engine car for that reason. Seem to be getting the hang of it, though. Oh! I was on the brakes hard. Come on, come on, come on, don't lose it. No! Really? See what I mean? See what I mean? It snapped back the other way just when I was trying to roll out of it with the brakes and everything. It snapped back the other way. I thought that was, like, when it snapped to the wall on the left, I thought we were good. Like, what the heck? That was weird. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. That was supposed to happen. I'm going to restart real quick. What the heck? I'm going to restart real quick because... I don't know, I don't want to do it with a damaged car, but the thing about it is, you think you're done, you think the car's done whipping back and forth, and it's really not. You just have to you have to pay so much attention to it. Alright, come on, stick it in. Keep it stable, balance it, balance it. It's all about balance. All about balance. And if you can keep the balance and the momentum, then you're good to go. But if you lose that, if you ever lose that momentum, then it's going to completely upset the balance. This car is all about balance. And yes, it can drift. It can be used as a drift car. I mean, you know, I wouldn't take it into, like, something like battles and stuff where I was trying to be, like, super effective. But just for, like, using something different online, like, for just taking something online, you know, just to kind of break up the monotony and be a little bit different, this is definitely a worthy choice for that. If you're just trying to, like I said, if you're trying to break up some of the monotony of your, of the drift cars that you just use normally, then this is definitely a good car to do that in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjust 5th gear just a little bit, because I feel like if I bring it just a little closer, yeah, just a little closer to 4th, we might be able to get a little bit more, just keep it in the power band a little bit more. As long as we're not redlining it all the time. If we start redlining it all the time, then that's not going to work. That's not going to work for me. This is one of those cars that you really have to do live tuning on, because if you don't do live tuning, you just try to blind tune it, it's not one of those cars that you could just say, oh yeah, I'm going to throw a blind tune on it because I have this general setup that works for pretty much every car. Your general setup will not work for this car, as I proved earlier. It's not a car that can just be blind tuned. You need to take this thing, you need to test drive it, you need to live tune it, because that's the only way you're going to get it to the way you like it. I'm starting to get used to it, though. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, messing with 5th gear a little bit really paid off, I think. I'm just worried about what it'll do in these longer corners. Yeah, because we're just continuing to redline. The momentum. There we go. Yes, there we go. Definitely starting to get more of a feel for it now. Now, let's just see if I can get an actual clean line on this corner, because this corner, for some reason, in this car is very tricky to keep a clean line on and actually drift the whole thing. Not bad. Not bad. Best run on that corner yet. This corner particularly is tricky because you need so much momentum to carry through these long corners, and it's so hard to get it back up after the set of corners before that. I mean, if you had like a long straightaway before it, it would be fine, but with those few corners beforehand, it's just hard. Come on, yes. As long as we can keep the back tires spinning, we'll be fine. Power it out. Get nice and close to that wall. There we go. I'm thinking one more lap. If we could do one more lap without messing anything up, related to the lap, we messed the first corner up. But no, as long as we don't like touch any walls, I'm gonna go ahead and try for a really good lap here. And my apologies if I don't talk as much during this lap, because I'm just really trying to focus. Dang it! I went into that corner so fast, and I thought I had it. I really thought I had it. Because going into that corner at that speed usually works. Alright, let's get this. Let's get this corner. Trying for a better run than last time. Oh, way better. Keeping it in the power band. Way, 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 way better. Absolutely much better. Dang it, come on, come on. There we go, there we go, there we go. Keep it. Yeah, best run on that corner, too. Even because of that screw-up earlier, we're managing to get a pretty good lap out of this. And even with that mess up, this has got to be my best lap yet. As long as we keep it out, we should be fine. Keep the rear spinning. And the tail end is close to that wall. There we go. And yeah, I give it a nice 360 across the, well, not even 360. I was trying to get a 360. Ended up 180ing into the wall. Right. Right. So, as far as this car goes, I feel like I need some more work on it before I call it done, as far as the tune goes. And I will be taking it into the online just to see how it does after I do a little bit more live tuning. But I feel like I've got a pretty good baseline setup, but it definitely needs some work. It's not your basic drift car. I mean, it's not going to be easy, like throwing a big engine in a 240 or something, giving it tons of horsepower, you know, dropping the tire pressure, giving it some camber, and off you go. This is a lot more tricky. This is a lot more, there's a lot more in this car that you need to be aware of when you're trying to tune it. And the live tuning, I think, definitely works. It definitely gives you a little bit of an edge when you're trying to figure out what works for you. But if you guys enjoyed this drift build, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.